Rats here to continue my video blog on the team match between Army of Brotherhood and my free video lessons group. We've had another result, and just over 2 days after this match has started, so once again the culprit is moving too quick. And I noticed some other games that may be over soon because people are moving too quick, and we'll get to those as they come. But here it is down on board 116 between Queequeg and Markov. Now, if you're watching this on a regular YouTube sized video, you might want to hit the full screen button in the lower right hand corner. This will enlarge it and let you see some of the minute detail. Okay, so let's bring forward the analysis board and see what went right and wrong here. Okay, one great thing about online chess is it gives you a chance to learn openings. If you're rated under 2,000 and preparing openings for over the board play, I think you're wasting your time if you're spending a lot of time studying them on your own. But if you're playing online chess, you're not so much wasting your time because you get a chance to actually learn the variations. One of the things about my video lesson course is to maximize your time by studying what you need to study the most. And I believe that's analysis of your own games. You want to correct your strengths and weaknesses, find the flaws in your game, and attempt to lower the number of mistakes you make. If one thing I found out way back when, and I was interested in this opening way back in 1972 when I was first starting rated play. But one thing I discovered, it was a lot of work. From this position here in the opening, white has about 6 moves. Bishop f4, bishop g5, knight f3, h4, queen b3, and c takes d5. And if you take the time and get to know all the variations, you can do fine. Interesting game with the Gruenfeld is, when was it, 62? Right around there, when Bobby Fischer had black against Botvinnik in the Olympics. Fischer prepared a line of the Gruenfeld. He had found an improvement in Botvinnik's game against Smyslov, and Fischer achieved a winnable position as a result of what he discovered. Well, that's Fischer. He's a genius, and he knew what to study, and he was very sharp on these things. Well, we're not all Fischer. So the good thing about online chess is it gives you a chance to look up the opening, and white opts for the exchange variation. So this position has been seen countless times in theory, but black's going to go wrong here in a few moves. We'll try to get to the truth of this here in a minute. Okay, so I don't know the exact book move here. There's probably a choice of them. At some point, black may be capturing on d4 first, but black needs to castle pretty quick, okay? And the reason for castling is to get your king out of the center, although white really doesn't have a way to exploit it. The black king is never going to castle, as it turns out, but white will get a decisive advantage anyway, as we will see. But just common sense says castle. A lot of times, I know that in these Gruenfeld type positions, this black knight on c6 finds its way to a5 and controlling c4 and ends up occupying that square. I'm just kind of hovering the knight over there. When black can do that, black's done fine. The next move takes the a5 square away from the knight, and it does put a little pressure on d4 because the c-pawn is pinned. It can't take back. So white rectifies it by castling. And I don't know how much of this is book because I don't play this opening as white or black. I imagine it's probably booked somewhere. But it seems to get black in trouble here, and we'll see why in a moment. Now c4 comes. Now black has taken away the square that I said he wants to occupy with a knight. He's put a pawn there. And black still hasn't castled, and black needs to. And coincidentally, this next move ends up costing him the game, as we will see. Although you wouldn't think that this bishop move would cost black the game, but white now decides to try to break the game open. with a4. Now, black's kind of in a little bit of dilemma here. What does he do? Okay, let's look at some candidate moves. If black, a natural move we want to examine first is a6, so that we can take back with the pawn. But the problem is there's a discovery against the queen, and now when the queen takes the pawn, white gets rook b1 in, and there's a skewer or a hurdle against the bishop on b7. That bishop is going to be a lost piece. So black can't take play a6. So what black let's go forward. So black has to find another move here. What I've wiped it out here with the analysis. What black actually played was b4, and I'm gonna have to kind of move this so I can get the score of the game right. I want to make sure I don't. Let's see. Now I got to bring this back. Okay, here we go. Okay, I've got the score of the game. This ends up getting black in a little bit of a pickle. White takes, and black takes with the knight, and then white pins the knight, and black looks at this and says, I got to break that pin. And he does this. He's still guarding the knight, but unfortunately after bishop takes, black realizes he's going to lose the piece, because when he takes back, rook b1 will be played, and there's that hurdle on the bishop on b7. So let's back it up and see what else could black have done here. Instead of bishop b7, black could try. Well, like I say, black could castle, and his bishop won't be trapped if white goes along the same path. Black's defending this. He's not going to have his bishop trapped. Okay. Or skewered, I should say. So what else can black do? But let's stick with what he did do. Wait, it's white's move. No, it's black's move. He played bishop b7. Okay, so now a4. What black played here was b4, and you can't take with the queen because you get hurdled right away, so it transposes. Can black do anything different after a4? This seems to be a refutation of this system, but because there's just problems with this bishop on b7 and potential discoveries. So let's back it up a little bit. Let's play the move that I was suggesting rather than bishop b7. Let's castle for black. Now white goes a4 anyway. Okay. Now the one thing black needs is it needs a retreat square for the queen, and it's going to run into trouble. So one move I was kind of looking at was knight d8. Now the point is white does a discovery, and then maybe white sneaks up here and he's threatening rook d8. Actually, let's back it up. Let's go ahead and play this bishop move now. Now white takes. Now there's a discovery. Now if the rook goes to b1, the queen can come back to a6 and the bishop is safe, at least for now. But a sneak and going to h5 might be not a good square for the queen. Not only does the bishop fall, but well, I'm ahead of myself. That's on a different line. I was thinking, but I think a sneakier move is just bring the queen up to d2 here. This plans to play this move now of rook fb1. So we need to make a flight square for the queens, putting the rook on or the knight on a5 after rook fb1. As I was saying, if the queen goes to h5 to guard it, here I'll show you. See, I think knight a5 is a lemon. Okay, here comes rook here. I suppose black we could consider knight b3 in a second, but the point I want to illustrate is the queen can't come over to h5 and stay connected to that knight, because knight g3 will chase the queen out. So black's going to be left having to play a move like knight b3, and this just kind of like asks for it. I think I believe that pawn is probably doomed. Let's see. We've got to cover e4. Let's see. Well, maybe not. Let's see. a5. Black wants to play a4 here, and how does white upset the apple cart? Well, let's see. I hate to open up this diagonal, but I'm trying to create a square for this knight. Now a4. Yeah, maybe black can get away. You know, it's something to be. And the players are playing so quick. You know, they see these things. The other alternative for black is to bring the knight back to d8, and then allow this move. And probably queen to c6 is a better choice. This way, white doesn't gain a tempo on the c pawn if he advances one of his rooks up. And, you know, we have a game of chess to be played. But I guess one more quick look at the knight a5 line and the idea of putting it on b3. Of course, this knight stepping into a pin. What if white plays queen d1? The point of this is that black can't move the knight, and we just put a third attacker on that piece. So it appears this will probably win white a pawn. So there you have it. Looking down the line, let's get back to the list of the games. Okay, there we go. Anyway, we don't have any other results unless some just came in. Let's see. It shows the match score still at 1-1. There's still a number of games that haven't started yet. I'm not going to. Let's just look at one at random here. That one started. Here, see, this one somebody hasn't shown up yet. They got 3 more days to get here. If they don't, then they're going to forfeit, which would be sad. But see, here's another sample. Somebody hasn't bothered to show up. You know, we took some registrations way back in the first part of December, so maybe some people didn't pay attention when the match would actually start. And hopefully, now that the holidays are over, they'll be back to play chess. Okay, so that concludes this video. We still have 410 games left, because it's 206 boards, 412 games. I know there are going to be some timeouts. There always is. I hope there are none, but it's going to happen. But I don't know how many videos I'll end up making. We'll just keep this video blog alive, and I'll do my best to keep track of the ones I did, and hopefully those that are watching can learn something from these openings. And I thank you so much for your time. And that ends the video. Till next time, thanks.